Hi, good morning, everyone. I'm here to share with you how to get started with your Chromebook. Um, the, the session today will be very much a show and tell, but this is to really get you started for those who have never touched a Chromebook before. Okay, so here we go, right? So let me first share my screen, your entire screen. Okay, great. My screen is showing. Yeah, okay. Everyone can see my screen, right?
Yes.
Okay. So first and foremost, let me switch off some of this notification, and this is also part of all your learning. You can see here there are a few things installing on the Chromebook because I've just signed into this Chromebook, and that's the beauty of Chromebook, right? You can pick up any Chromebook and sign into your Google account, and it will exactly be the way you have set it out to be in terms of your wallpaper, your profile, and every extension that you install onto your Chrome browser, just like the one that I am now showing you on the magnifying glass. These are all my Chrome extensions. And so whenever I sign into any Chrome book, all these extension will auto install together with all the Google Play Store that I install onto my Chrome profile as well. So, okay, so let's start. Let me minimize this window. Um, just push this. Let me change my stylus to, okay. So, okay, so let's switch off some notification, right? So all this will not be popping up. Okay, so this is your Chrome environment. Whenever you log in, this is the first screen that you see after signing into your Chrome profile or your Google account. To see all the applications that you have already installed, this is the button here, and you'll be able to see these are all the applications that I have actually installed. So Chromebook is actually just a Chrome OS. I mean, it's not a Windows, it's not a Mac, and these are all the different applications that I've installed for me. And so whenever I sign into another new Chromebook, I'll see the same thing because all these are tied. All these are tied to my profile, right? So that's the beauty of a Chromebook. You will get the same experience in every Chrome device that you sign into. So for those of you, okay, the key thing here I would recommend is when you get a Chromebook, get one that has Play Store. So with the Play Store, then you can install any apps that you can actually see on the Play Store. And some of these apps are supporting offline mode as well, just like the way you would have it on your Android phone or your Apple iPhone. When you install apps, the apps can still work when you're offline. And this is also mainly just for me to share with everyone to say that, you know, Chromebooks will also work when you're offline as well, right? You don't need to always be online in order to be using a Chromebook, right? So here you can always see that, you know, Chrome will always prompt you when there is a new update for your Chrome OS. So all you need to do is just hit the restart to update, and this will typically restart your computer in about 10 seconds. This is unlike the Windows updates where you probably, you know, if you have a lot of updates that is pending, you probably have to wait up to like 15, 20 minutes or maybe sometimes even an hour just to wait for your Windows to update. But in Chrome, everything updates within a minute. I think that's the longest I ever experienced, but typically it's about 10 seconds, right? So let's get more orientation around where to click in your Chromebook. So as I mentioned, here is all the apps that you can click for your uh, applications, right? And then here are the settings. So this is the off button. This is the sign out button to sign out from your profile. So a Chromebook can support many profiles. So this is my current work profile. I can sign out and then I can sign into another Google profile. And then I can switch between all these profiles whenever I start the computer. Here is all the different Wi-Fi that you can actually select to join. So this button is always to join Wi-Fi. Here is your Bluetooth, and these are just notifications. Notifications such as these can be switched off. And then you can also do screen capture, right? When you want to screen capture, say I open my browser here, and I open our website, and I want to do a screen capture. I click on this, and it will say, drag the area that you want to screen capture, or you can take the full screen. This is to take partial screen. This is to take the entire window screen, right? And you can do a screen capture, or you can do a video recording in this case. And even in this case, you can do a video recording of a certain segment of the website, right? So let's say I want to do a screenshot of a particular section, let's say just here. And then I just click capture. So here is the screen capture. I double click. And then if I want to crop, I can crop. Done. I can also scribble, choose a red. I can scribble here and choose the size of the font as well. And then done. And then save. So then this is saved. And that's how you do a screen capture. And if you want to do a video, same. Just select video, and then say I want to take the entire screen and click. So it says here 3, 2, 1. So whatever I'm talking through right now, all this is going to be recorded. And whenever I want to stop, I just click this stop button. And here's the video. So I can play the video. Right? Okay. So that's me. So I think there was a option to capture video and also to make sure that the audio input is on, and then whether you want to take with the front camera or the back camera. In this case, this Chromebook has a back camera, right? So, okay. So that's screen capture. What else? This one is to just turn on the night mode, right? Just to make just very much like an iPad. If you're reading your Chromebook in the dark or at night, so you want to be able to turn and schedule on and off your night light mode, right? And this is for VPN. Here's the volume and here's the brightness, right? You can see this, the battery status. And this is just to lock the Chromebook, and this is to go to more settings, right? Where you can customize your wallpaper, right? You want to change the wallpaper from this to this. And when you change this wallpaper will change accordingly into every Chromebook that you sign into. Okay? So here are all the connected devices, and this is your account, right? And you can adjust your trackpad, your keyboard, the language, and in the keyboard for Chromebook, where there is the caps lock, it is actually a search button. So you can actually change the search button to become a caps lock, right? So you can customize your keyboard as well. Control is control, alternate is alternate, escape is escape. So this is you configuring your trackpad and also your keyboard, okay? So there are other settings. One setting that I found useful is the download setting, right? This is not from the device setting, but maybe this is more from the Chrome setting, right? So there are two ways to do your settings. This is more towards your device settings, which is the hardware, the Chromebook itself, and this is more to your Chrome settings, right? So when you search download, you can actually specify that whenever you download your something from the web, for example, you want to download a file here somewhere from a website, you can actually change to state where you want to download. So typically, you would want to download to your hard drive, but in most cases, Chromebooks comes with very small SSD hard drive. So you can notice that you actually have your Google Drive here. So what you can do is whenever you download something, you can actually designate your downloads to, like in this case, I actually create a folder for download from Chromebook. So I can choose that whenever I download something, it download directly into my Google Drive. So again, the good thing about this is that whenever I don't have this Chromebook and I have another Chromebook, whatever I downloaded from a previous Chromebook is still available in my drive. So I can always go back to my drive and I can always go to that particular folder, which is called the download from Chromebook. And here I will get all the different downloads that I've ever downloaded from all the different Chrome devices or any device that I use, be it Windows or not. So I just move all my downloads here, right? We were talking about the light mode, dark mode, where you can actually schedule and turn on and off. Notice the color change, right? So this is good, especially if you're reading you're using the Chromebook in nighttime in a dark room. So here's just all the VPN that you can set. Here's your volume, and here is your brightness settings. All this is very important because a lot of times people always will ask, where do I manage the settings? So notice this gear button as well, very much like a handphone. You can actually click on this, and this will actually be managing all the settings on the device, right? On the device, on the hardware itself. So here you can configure your touchpad, the speed, and the scrolling. I always enable reverse scrolling, very much like the iPad. And then you can configure your keyboard. For those who have never seen a Chromebook, there isn't actually a caps lock button. It is actually replaced by a search button, right? So, but if you prefer that button, like in most computers, to be a caps lock, you can actually change it here to make it into a caps lock button. And of course, there are other keypads, key that you like to change, so you can actually change them here as well. Like if you prefer backspace to be some other button, then you can do so here. Okay, and here is some personalization where you can actually set your wallpaper. Like in this case, perhaps I would like to change this wallpaper to something else, and you can see that when I change this, this is the wallpaper that I have then chosen. And all these will follow my settings when I sign into the next Chromebook. So here's all the privacy settings. And I'm not going to go through each and every one of them, but the key thing here is for me to let you know which are the areas that you can go through to actually see all the settings that you want to be able to set, right? In terms of language, date, time. And here is where you always, about Chrome OS, is always where you can click to check if you're on the latest version of Chrome, right? So it's now Chrome 105. It looks like, I still have another update. So it will just update in the background while I can still go through this whole thing. And then once it's ready and reaches 100%, it will just prompt here for me to restart. And restarting is typically about 10 seconds. And then your entire OS is updated. So that's what I love about using ChromeBook, right? So next, let's move on, right? These are some of the applications that you can pin or unpin, right? So you can select to unpin this and unpin this. And so let's say if I access my Google Drive a lot, so here maybe I'd like to pin it to shelf. So whenever I click on this, I can immediately open up my Google Drive, right? So think of it like an immediate shortcut, right? And it is not uncommon that when you're using a Chromebook, you end up with many, many tabs. So be comfortable opening up many tabs, because essentially, you would be opening up a lot of files, documents, and they will all start to fill up this tabs. So if you want more space, you can always set to minimize the tab. Like for example, you can always pin it. Then it become something like this. So let me just show. If I unpin, it's a longer thing. If I pin, then it stays here, and you can organize and move your tabs around. So all these are pinned to stay onto my Chrome, right? So the other important tip here is to actually show you the Chrome Web Store. So in Chrome Web Store, you can actually download a lot of applications, themes, apps, games even, and all these other extensions, right? So for me, being able to screen capture and edit is very important for me to explain things. So for example, I have this go full page, right? So type here go full page. So this extension, I've installed it. So if you see remove from Chrome, so if you have not added it, you can actually, it will say here add to Chrome. But if you already added it, it says remove from Chrome. So why I like this extension is that in this web page, there's a lot to capture, right? To scroll. But using this, I can actually make it screen capture the entire screen. So in most laptops like Windows, you would use Microsoft Paint to do this. But in Chromebook, you can actually use this. So you can actually do edit. And this is, of course, more advantageous than the one that I showed you earlier, because the one that I showed you earlier with screen capture, you can only capture what's visible. But in this case here, we are capturing whatever that needs scrolling as well. So this is actually a very good extension. And there are many, many more extensions that I have installed, which are all these. So yeah, whichever that is useful for you, just go ahead and install them. Like I have Zoom and a whole bunch of other extensions here. So you can see here, my Chrome is updated. It's just prompting me, so I can do this later after the recording instead of now. Okay. So with that, just now we touched about settings here, which is more for the hardware. I want to talk about the settings here, which is more for whatever you do inside your Chrome browser, right? I mean, essentially in a Chromebook, your Chrome browser is the main application, right? Whatever you do on the Chrome browser. And remember, I said that certain things can still be done offline. So it doesn't mean that if you are not online, your Chromebook is useless. It doesn't mean that. So one thing here I'd like to actually share is actually the download option. So this is a good tip, right? Whenever you download something, the default would be that it will download straight into this hard drive in this Chromebook, right? Which is this. So this is where everything tends to download. But I can change where I want to download this. So of course, if I want to become device independent, right? And not be dependent on this device to work. Whatever I want to save or download from my websites, I would rather choose to download into my drive. And in this case, I have a drive that I created called download from Chromebook. And then I decide that this is the location. Whenever I download something, I want it to download into my drive. So this way, wherever I go, when on any other device that I use to sign in, I don't have to actually be dependent on this particular device. Plus, most Chromebooks comes with quite a small storage. Like in this case, let's see how much space. Like in this case, this Chromebook only has in total about 64 gigs of storage space. Of course, you can add thumb drives to this Chromebook and put a 1 terabyte thumb drive, and you can have all your files saved into that thumb drive as well. And in my case, I have a Google Workspace for Enterprise Plus, so which means that my drive is literally almost unlimited. So that's why I would rather save all the things that I want to download into my drive, into here, right? Chromebook downloads from Chromebook here, which is a folder I created, so that I can get these files wherever I am connected to any other device. So that's a good tip, right? What else? So the rest are all the usual stuff, like, you know, how you want to clear your cookies, your language settings, and here is where you can check whether what Chrome OS you're on, and so on, right? So with that, I hope that that is good for you to get started and get orientated with your Chromebook. There's lots of things to discover, but you know, this is just the beginning. Again, just get used to the idea of the navigation, which I've actually brought you through. And with that, I think you will have a fun time exploring.